Welcome to the fourth edition of Songwriter in the House. I'm John Byrum, along with my co-host and surfer brother, Mike Anderson, guy who makes all this possible, by the way. We're going to be diving into the world where we explore the art of creating music for the world to enjoy. Slick, we got a special edition tonight.
We certainly do. And you know, there was something special going on in Knoxville last night.
Oh, was there ever?
Cigars were lit and goalposts came down as thousands of fans celebrated number 11 Tennessee's 24-17 victory over number 7 Alabama yesterday. Go Vols.
I love it.
Chris Brazel II made a diving 16-yard touchdown catch from Nico Ameliava. Did I say that right?
Yeah, I think you did.
Midway through the fourth quarter to give the Volunteer defense a 21-17 lead to work with, Dylan Sampson rushed for 139 yards and 2 touchdowns for the Volunteers. The victory keeps Tennessee in the hunt for a college football playoff spot. How about that?
Amen, brother.
That's how they've played all year. Tennessee coach Josh Heupel said of his defense, how they played tonight kept us in the ball game when offensively we were just a little bit off.
Just a little bit. That first half scared me to death.
Sampson sparked it, Heupel said. What a night on Rocky Top, and congratulations to the Volunteers, the Tennessee Volunteers, and the Vol Nation.
Makes me proud, brother.
Makes me proud. We got big doings in Tellico Plains, I hear.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do.
We got a special guest to explain that.
We do. But before we get to that point, I want to encourage everyone here in Monroe County to support our local artists.
Absolutely.
By visiting the local restaurants and bars that provide live music. And folks, there's a bunch of them nowadays.
There are a bunch.
So please do that. Support your local artists. But tonight we do have a special guest.
Yes, we do.
An old friend of mine and yours. We've known this guest a long, long time. And without her father, none of this would be happening.
Not a thing.
Not a thing. So please welcome, folks, our special guest, Pam Hall Mathews.
Hi there.
Oh, hey, Pam, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you. Nice to be with my longtime friends tonight.
We've known each other a long time, huh?
I know, very talented.
I don't know what that's like, but we'll take it. We will take it.
I won't list all of it.
Well, the thing I want to talk about, Pam, we're going to talk about the festival, but I want to talk about what led up to the festival. And what that is. I know your dad, who I knew very well and loved the guy, Charles Hall. Without his influence, the Cherohala Skyway would have never happened. Along with Tellico Lake, I mean, he made it. He was the guy. He made it happen. He was also the mayor of Tellico for what, 37 years or
31.
31 years.
Mm-hmm.
That's incredible. Incredible. Well, tell us about, I know you were old enough to remember what was going on during that time. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, the Cherohala Skyway, we was always called it the Tellico Robbinsville Road.
Right.
And so the reason was in 1958, and I was about 5 years old, was our first wagon train. It came out of a Tellico Plains Qantas meeting. Daddy and some other people were out. Of course, he was just, probably about 30 then. And they had said, we just have wagon roads. Let's have a wagon train to try to draw attention. So there was a committee. Sam Williams had actually said that, who owned the local Riverside restaurant where Qantas would meet. So they got together several wagons and they promoted it and invited, Senator Gore, who came, and Estes Kefauver came, and we've got his picture downtown. He actually came to the square dance the night before, and that started the long tradition of Tellico Plains wagon trains. So the first wagon train, we went. The second wagon train in 1959, Dad built a surrey, and we do have that surrey at the Charles Hall Museum, his namesake, in Tellico Plains. It's not family owned, but he did build it and donate it for the benefit of the town in Tellico Plains.
And it's special, folks. You need to go see it.
It is. And we, have a documentary we'll be showing, we'll be looping in Building 2, 7 minute, that ties together the wagon train and the Skyway. So it was a 38-year history to get the sky. There was a lot of stalls along the way. We went to Murphy first, and then in 1962, when Dad and I think J.D. Lee was with him, and they went to Washington, and they were talking with some people. He ended up making some connections through someone whose dad had been mayor in Tellico Plains in 1917.
Wow.
And so they, who helped him and advised him to go across public lands. So he went back and met with Forest Service, and they routed it from Tellico Plains to Robbinsville to go across the Cherohala and the Nantahala forests. And Dad, by the way, did later name the Cherohala Skyway after
Yep.
Cherokee National Forest, and Hala after Nantahala National Forest. So there's a long history, and it would take, of the ups and the downs, and how much he and other people and the support he had in Congress, and how he ran into Senator Carr and then later Don McBride, and he would take his topo maps, and he just never gave up. I really didn't think he'd live to see it happen.
But he did.
And he did in 1996, October the 12th. The Skyway was opened, and he took the last wagon train across the line. Kenny Shaw and Roe Hutzel was the wagon masters then in July of that year, and they opened it up, and but not to traffic. It was they still had a lot of work to finish on the North Carolina. So we have a lot of that history at the museum. It's a very rich. It's a really a miracle story.
Well, folks, for those folks that don't know, that aren't from this area and don't know about the Cherohala, before the Cherohala Skyway was built, to get to Robbinsville, where a lot of people here have relatives over there, you had to drive like 5 hours, 6 hours. And some of the roads over there were treacherous, like 129, the Dragon.
Yeah.
It was treacherous road. So this road actually opened up that corridor between here and North Carolina, and it is an incredibly beautiful drive.
And it was designated a byway scenic highway, one of the first in Tennessee by opening day, October the 12th, 1996. And so it was designed. It goes, up to 5,000 feet. It's just beautiful. So in the 20th anniversary, he had passed, and I was managing in the museum as a volunteer, going back and forth from our home and my practice in Knoxville. And the mayor and the tourism director at that time said, people keep asking, can we do something for the 20th anniversary? And River of Life was having a tent revival on the grounds of the museum, and we were pleased to give them that opportunity, and it really enjoyed it. And so I asked them, could they stay and keep the tent up, and we would just do something. We chose the fourth Saturday of October because the second was the Gold Festival in Cocoa Creek, and the third at that time they were doing the Buds Fest in Madisonville. So anyway, that's how it started, and I said I'll do it again year 25th. It was a big success, and people loved it, and they were going, oh no, you got to
do it every year now.
Keep doing it. But my plan was to do it 25th and 30th, and this year's our 28th. So of celebrating the Skyway, it's our 8th year to do a festival.
8 years.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing. That is absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
The last couple of years, unfortunately I wasn't there last year because I had some health issues, but the 2 previous years, you guys had a lot of people there.
We did. We had nice weather. Looks like we're going to have nice weather this time.
Yes, it does.
And, we enjoy the, how it benefits the other businesses in Tellico Plains and in Monroe County, and kind of highlights our areas and shows how, kind and awesome we are in Tellico Plains.
Absolutely. Very awesome.
Yeah.
Because I love that little town. I go to church there. In fact, I was there earlier today. And it's a wonderful place with wonderful people. And without you and your father and your family's support, none of this would have happened. None of it. So we owe you that.
Yeah. Well, I like to document things that he did. That's kind of my role, that the history doesn't die and that it continues to live. And the festival, it's just that I've always known that Tellico Plains deserves the very, very best. So, we were able to kind of branch over to have focus a lot on the music and keep our Tellico Plains roots, as and you can talk about with the Josh Graves nephews,
Oh, yeah.
Tim
And
and
Ted,
Ted and Mike, and keep them, and then have some other well-known groups that come, and you can let me know when we're going to talk about that. We'll talk about our music, the bluegrass part that we call the Josh Graves Music Tribute. And a lot of that came from you and Mike interviewing me at the museum back, I don't know, it might have been 2018,
Yeah, it was a while back. Well,
2019.
great
you,
interview, though.
You said, I think you need to name the music part, the bluegrass music part, after Josh. And so we did.
Oh, Uncle Josh. Yeah, we're going to talk about that festival, folks. We're going to talk about the music lineup. But before we do, we're going to let you listen to our sponsor. And this helps keep us on the air here. I guess we're on the air, huh, Mike? On the air, whatever it is, online. So we'll be right back. And we're going to continue talking with Pam Hall Mathews and the Cherohala Skyway Festival. So stay with us.
Sam Ash is now an official affiliate partner of our program, Songwriter in the House, right here on the Mike Anderson Productions YouTube channel, and we are certainly proud to have them. You can access the world's largest online inventory of musical instruments and gear with a heritage that goes back to 1924 and over 50,000 products on their website. Sam Ash is the place for all the instruments and accessories a musician could possibly ever need. They have a large selection of acoustic and electric guitars, basses, drums, amplifiers, keyboards, microphones, band and orchestral instruments, DJ gear and studio setups, electronics, and recording software. Best of all, you'll be assured to receive the same knowledgeable service that Sam Ash has given its customers since their 125-year inception. That's a long time.
Long time. Almost as old as we are.
Almost, but not quite.
Not quite.
Look for the Sam Ash Music link in the description below and help support this channel. Remember, when you make purchases using the link, it won't cost you anything extra, but you'll be helping keep this channel alive.
Amen,
right?
brother. Amen.
So samash.com, visit them today.
Okay, folks, welcome back. And thank you, Sam Ash. Thank you for your support. Folks, we are here with Pam Hall Mathews, and we're going to be talking about the Cherohala Skyway Festival, which occurs this coming weekend, October 26th, in Tellico Plains, Tennessee. And Pam, what time does this festivities begin?
Well, it starts at 10. We have a 5K that starts at 8, and you can go to skywayfestival.com and register for that. We'll be registering for the 5K up until time, and it's a beautiful route. It goes along the Skyway and then detours along Tellico River, runs across the covered bridge, and then back on the other side of the Tellico River. And it's just, a fun way to kind of kick us off. And that's at 8 o'clock. And then First Baptist Church of Tellico Plains has a free pancake breakfast going on from about 8:30 to 10. And
That's got my name on it.
I know, and that's just one of the many, many organizations and people that volunteer to make this festival special.
You know, folks, the great thing about this festival is that it's in downtown Tellico. I mean, it's in the bottoms down there, what they call the bottoms down there, and it's beautiful, and there's lots of room, lots of stuff to do, and we're going to talk about that right now. Other than the race, the venue there is right beside the Charles Hall Museum and the Visitor Center. Is that correct?
That's right.
Yep. And there you can buy your tickets there, or you can get them ahead of time, I guess.
You can. We have the festival is free. All activities are free, but we do ask that people pay a $10 parking charge, but you can pay $5 and go to either building of the museum and buy it ahead of time, or the fish skins downtown. Some people do park other places and walk in, and that's okay, but we pay. The festival costs a lot of money, and we really could. You've got insurance and bands and bounce houses that we have free. So it's a fun time, and we just have a lot of people that come out and offer things free to the uh, not only our community but to other communities that come. We've got the Shadden family. They bring their horse-drawn wagons,
Oh yeah.
and the Carmley family, they bring their little ponies and lead kids on ponies, and they both bring petting zoos. And then we have people that volunteer to do tractor hay pull, wagons, and do hay rides throughout the day, and then have a big inflatable, with all the games and they, slides and bounce houses, and there's no charge for that. I think there's like 13 free kids activity, and one of the activities that is really unique to the festival, and I guess it was the third year that we started it, is the sawdust dig.
Oh, I remember that.
And oh my gosh,
Volunteer
people,
Federal is their sponsor.
the
Right?
Volunteer Federal sponsors that. They give us $250 worth of quarters that we hide. And then volunteer employees, the Masons, Cressa Mason, who is the branch manager in Tellico Plains, her son Tanner, and their spouses, they staff it all day. And so we get toys, we hide in there, and there's quarters, and it's just a fun time. And people say that they have a hard time dragging their kids away from the sawdust dig. Now, I will tell you, my husband likes to, afterwards, he cleans up the sawdust for us. Well, there's some tip money in there for him.
Oh
when he
yeah,
does,
I
so.
bet there's some left over.
Yeah.
Good for the car wash.
Yes.
Oh, by the way, Pam, I will not be participating in the 5K. Just to let you know.
Well, goodness.
I don't even like to drive that far. And I know we've got this some friends of ours, the Mecca Camp Fun Game Zone, that's going to be there.
Yes.
And the climbing tower, is that new?
Yes, they had that last year. And one of the things that B Bouncers in Madisonville, we pay for all the inflatables and stuff, and they staff it and bring all our generators if they can offer the climbing tower. So they do charge a $5 fee for the climbing tower, but it was so popular. People loved it. And that's kind of how they are paid to staff it, because we just feel more comfortable to having the experts, and they do a beautiful job, and they bring us 8 inflatables and set them up, and I don't have to worry about a thing. They take care of everything. So, if you have young kids, you probably wouldn't do it, but some of the older kids really enjoyed it. It was really tall, and yeah, I don't know if I would do it.
No, if I was that age, I would certainly try it.
Yeah, I know y'all would. You and Mike probably dove off baby falls, right?
Several times.
Yes. Well, I did off Steel Bridge, but
Steel Bridge and Baby Falls, man.
Yeah, it was just trying to be cool. I really didn't want to.
Those were good times.
Yeah.
That Steel Bridge, you had to know exactly where to jump. There was a hole, a deep hole, deep enough that you didn't hit the bottom.
Yeah.
And we used to go up there, me and the Coley brothers and several other people go up there and lay out of school and go out there in the springtime.
Yeah.
The Baby Falls were incredible.
Yeah. Yeah. Diving off those cliffs. Oh my gosh.
That was so much fun. And see, folks, if you're not from around here, you can come here and drive up through there and see all this stuff.
Yeah.
So it's wonderful.
Yeah.
It is wonderful. So let's talk about something that's near and dear to me, and that's the food trucks.
Oh yeah, yeah. We've got great food, all the festival fair fun foods, and then we do have volunteer. I mean, the museum has so many people that come that want to see the museum going and continuing and help us fundraise, and they cook for us in the main wagon. We have Sonia and Shannon and Christy, and Drew's going to help out this
Drew
year.
Black and Mimi.
And Lynn, who is Miss Lynn, who's one of the high school teachers, and have a lot of school kids that come and, volunteer. And so there's just so much just free fun. And then you can go get, your funnel cake, and just know that when you buy the food, even from, or shop, lots of shopping, about 80 vendors to shop with, that you're helping a small business,
I'm a big believer in that.
Yeah, and so that a lot of them really depend. To me, it kind of feels like, and when I work with them and set them up, it's real gratifying because it feels like to me when my grandpa would sell tobacco, and that was his Christmas money. That
Hmm.
was the Christmas money when you would sell it in November, and you kind of depended on that. So a lot of these vendors depend on these fall festivals to carry their crafts through the year.
Yep.
That's their biggest selling time, and we have some beautiful crafters and artists coming.
Yep.
You'll love it.
Everyone I've ever seen up there has been just incredible.
Yeah.
And folks, if you've never been to the Charles Hall Museum, you've really got to see it. I've known Charles, I've known Pam and her family for all my life, and that museum just absolutely has your dad written all over it. I mean, with all the stuff that he saved and collected, it's a treat just to go there.
It is, and we have thousands and thousands of visitors that come, and it's free admission to come. And I always like for people to know that he did it and he gifted it, but his there was no funds. He certainly wished there was to set up an endowment, so we have to fundraise. And I'm a volunteer, and all the museum are, help or volunteers. The people who make the festival happen are all volunteers. And so
That's
we
wonderful.
raise money and get sponsors to pay for extra police and security and some of the fun activities. And then, hopefully, the museum will make some money too that helps with repairs and all the things that
Expansion, different
all
things.
we
Yep.
do for the community. We a lot of community service organizations use our property.
Now, let's talk about something that truly is near and
Oh,
dear
I bet.
to my heart. Something that Mike and I, as you well know, have been involved in our whole lives
That's
together.
right.
And that's music, folks. Lot of music, a lot of big name people coming up here to entertain. But this thing also pays tribute to an old friend of mine, a guy that I knew very well and was a star in the Grand Ole Opry. That's Uncle Josh Graves.
Mhm.
And he's in part of the visitor center. There is a museum dedicated to Uncle Josh.
Yeah, they've got a little section there. He's on Tennessee Music Pathways. Tourism applied for them to be a stop along the way, and they honor him there with a display. And then we honor him in the museum with a display that Tim and I, his nephew, had worked on for many, many years to make happen, and actually have a Josh Graves Dobro on loan there.
Oh yeah.
So the visitor center and us really collaborate and support each other.
Well, folks, this is what the flyer looks like right here, and you see this young man right there.
Yeah.
His name is Wyatt Ellis. Now he's the main stage. He's the headliner. This kid is 15 years
He's
old,
15.
and he is a master of the mandolin. He's right up there with Sierra Hull and Sam Bush and those guys. I mean, this kid. There's YouTube videos about him. Now, how did you guys hook up with Wyatt? Is this something that you planned on last year, or is this something
No,
new?
what happened is that Bradley Reeves with Smoky Mountain Radio has gradually been setting up his radio, his studio at the museum, and he had curated a display at the East Tennessee History Center on Carl Butler, and wanted me to come and see it. And he knows White's mother, and did a section on White at the East Tennessee History Center, and I'm going, are you kidding me? This young kid already has a display at the
Oh,
East Tennessee
kid's
History
incredible.
Center, and so he gave me his mother's number, and that was probably about March or April, and I called her, and she said, sure, we'll do it. So I think we got him at the right time, and I think Bradley put in a good word that it would be good to. He had followers in our area, and it would be great for all of us.
Well,
So I actually wrote a grant to help with some of the music this year. The Tennessee Arts Commission
good.
because we're paying for sound this year and uh, extra money for the bands. We have all paid bands, but so we were funded some money through the Tennessee Arts Commission.
That's wonderful.
That's
That's
really
wonderful.
helps us bring the best of the best to Tellico Plains. I think our stage bands are truly the best of the best. You won't find better bluegrass music.
No, and I'll tell you, some of the guys that I know personally and have actually been on stage with is Tim Graves and
Yes.
Ted Graves.
Yeah.
Now, Tim heads up a group called the Farmhands, and these guys they are top shelf performers out of Nashville. Tim was 16-time Dobro Player of the Year. Can you imagine?
I
16
know.
times. That's incredible. And there's another band called Appalachian Smoke,
Yes.
which I've heard many times, and they are wonderful. They're from North Carolina.
They are. They're from all the different, little towns, whether it's Robbinsville, Bryson City. And talk about songwriters. You and Mike are going to love them. They write their songs. And Mountain Fever Records will release their second album Friday.
Oh, wow.
The day before the
Day before.
festival. So we'll be able to be at the first at the festival to buy their albums and their music of their newly released. But no, they're songwriters. I mean, they're just right up y'all's alley. They're
Slick, we got to get with these. We got to meet these guys.
Yeah. And, I will say about Tim, even when we talk about the other musicians, people will say to me, and I like to tell Tim, Pam, there's nobody can be better than Tim Graves. So he is part of the Cherohala Skyway Festival. He's like ingrained, and I can't even imagine having anything without him and the Graves brothers and the Farmhands.
I played bass in the very first band he played in, the New Country Grass, and then which later became Cedar Run. And Tim, bless his heart, he was 17 years old. Can you imagine 17 years old?
Yeah.
And he could tear it up. He was incredible.
Yeah.
And his brother, Ted, and his other brother, Mike, they form a band that they get together for this thing in particular called the Graves Brothers Band.
That's right.
And Mike, their brother, is a lawyer in Knoxville. Left-handed bass player, like Paul McCartney. But no, these people are really wonderful. And then there's Tim Decker and Tennessee River.
Oh, I know. And people in Monroe County really remember Tim Decker and his banjo playing days. And, when he would give or just jam with people over at the Sweetwater Flea Market.
Right.
When they used to.
Harley Millsap was over there.
Yeah. And he's taught a lot of people how to play the banjo. And he is so good. So Tim Graves, banjo player, and Reno.
Don Wayne Reno.
Don Wayne. And Tim Decker, they usually will do some banjo thing together for the dueling banjos.
I love it.
And I just hope that I can at least hear it in the background. Sometimes I just get to hear it on video, but those banjo players, they really connect. And
if they play dueling banjo, Slick, I might have to grab my sixth string.
Yeah. Oh, well, we don't want to forget you either,
Get in there and jump in there and play with them.
Well, I know, and we do have a special guest this year.
Well, we do.
We do. We have an MC this year that's called John Byrum. What about that?
And I am honored to be a part of this.
Oh, we are just thrilled.
I am honored to be a part of it. I'm so looking forward to this.
Yeah.
I really am. Yeah. Now, folks, we're also going to have a Josh Graves Dobro pickoff competition.
Cash prizes.
And we're going to prizes. First place is $300, second place $200, and third place $125. And it's a blind audition, Slick. The judges sit with their back to the performers and listen to these guys play in the Josh Graves style of Dobro, which is very unique. Because I had a buddy in there a few years ago named Norman Humphreys. Norman, if you're listening out there, buddy, you better be in that contest this year, or you and I are going to have an issue. Well, he's an incredible banjo player in his own right, but he also plays a good dobro. So, what else is happening up there?
Well, we're gonna, and then after the dobro contest, the jam, the junior Appalachian musicians, the young kids in Monroe County, they're going to play 2 or 3 songs for us. So it's real exciting for them to take a stage at a major festival. So they really enjoy that.
I love it, getting young people involved in this, because
Yes.
bluegrass
Yeah.
music, it's so ingrained
Yes.
in the people around here, and I grew up listening to it and playing it, and I just love it.
Yeah.
I just do.
It's just a happy background music and foreground music
Yep.
for a festival. just everybody's smiling and tapping their toes all day.
And speaking of tapping toes, we're going to have a clogger
Yes.
up there, Deb McCarter.
Yes, she comes every year, and we have a little clogging stage, and she asks people to join her. She
She better not ask me.
She
'cause
may want the MC to join her. I don't know.
No.
I'm telling you, the event organizer probably can't move.
It'll register on the earthquake
Yeah.
scale, Hey, we had a 4.0 earthquake in Tellico.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. I'm so
Yeah.
happy about
Yeah.
this. So, folks, this is October 26th at Tellico Plains, Tennessee. And you got to be there. You got to be there and be talked about.
That's right. And I do want to just say, in building 2, we'll have the history video looping on Wagon Train Skyway. But in building 1, we have a student art contest sponsored by Kiwanis from the Tellico Plains High School and Junior High kids with prizes. And so you don't want to miss this art displayed. It'll be displayed by the end of the week.
So, folks, there you go. You see that if you don't come here, you're going to be missing something very, very, very special. And so we're excited to have you here, Pam.
Thank you.
It's good to see you. Always good to see an old friend.
I know.
So with that, folks, we're going to head on out of here with a little clip of some of the things you're going to see up there. So please join us at the Cherohala Skyway Festival, October 26th in Tellico Plains, Tennessee.
The 8th Annual Cherohala Skyway Festival and Uncle Josh Gray's Memorial Bluegrass Festival is Saturday, October 26th at the Charles Hall Museum and Heritage Center, Visitor Center Complex in beautiful Tellico Plains. Featuring the Bluegrass supergroup Tim Graves and the Farmhands, Ted Graves, Uncle Josh's nephews, and many, many more great musicians as you hear bluegrass all day. Monroe County Tourism will once again honor Uncle Josh Graves by sponsoring the Uncle Josh Graves Dobro Contest. Bluegrass music at its finest, ringing throughout the Tellico Mountains.
We can't help it. The music's in our blood. You can hear it in the picking when we play. We make sure their songs forever live on. We got bluegrass DNA. We got bluegrass DNA.
The Cherohala Skyway Festival in beautiful Tellico Plains, Tennessee. Don't miss it.